Uh, Friends, colleagues, fellow humans. I want to take a moment to share some thoughts, not as advice, not as instruction, but simply as a brain dump from someone who's still learning, still growing, and still trying to make sense of people and situations that, honestly, I didn't always understand throughout my life. Maybe something in this will spark a new perspective for someone. Maybe not. Either way, it's real. Let's talk about the words we tend to avoid. Words like race, racial, prejudice. These terms tend to make people uneasy. They create distance before a real conversation even has a chance. But avoiding them doesn't erase the truths behind them. That silence often leaves room for misunderstandings to grow instead of being cleared up. Now, here's what I've come to realize. For me, unity starts with respect. True, mutual respect. That means no one's trying to control or reshape the other. It's not about manipulating thoughts, nor about demanding agreement. It's about showing up as you are, valuing others as they are, and holding space for all the ways we differ. We're all walking around with our own histories, our own teachings, and our own ways of seeing the world. Think of it like this: we're each from a different country of origin, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And when we meet others whose countries look nothing like ours, we have a choice. We can build walls of discomfort, or we can build bridges with curiosity. Some people might end up becoming close friends or trusted colleagues, people you vibe with deeply and repeatedly. Others might only cross your path once, but that one moment could still offer something meaningful. The point is, every encounter has something to show us, as long as respect is the foundation. I'm not here to tell anyone how to think or live. Everyone has their own mind, and I truly believe in the importance of using it. What I'm sharing is just one person's lens, mine, shaped by experiences I've lived through and lessons I'm still unpacking. Take what resonates with you, question what doesn't, and let it feed your own clarity, not replace it. In a world that feels more divided than ever, maybe conversations like these, unfiltered, unfinished, and human, can help spark a little more understanding. Maybe not. But either way, thanks for listening.
Alright, silly and serious at the same time. So I just had this thought, and how I talk about race, racial, racist, prejudice, those type of things, black, white, color, on my terms, the way I talk about it. And so today, as I was getting my coffee, I was like, did you add, I didn't get a mixed drink this time. And I was like, did you add cream and sugar? They was like, no, I'll give it to you on the side. And I was thinking about last night, I asked somebody, what are you drinking? When you know, a lot of times certain people order from the coffee shop the cold drinks, the cold brew. And he was like, when I drink, coffee or hot coffee, I drink it black. And I was like, man, I need to go back to that, because even Dr. William Lee says black coffee is good, but you have to get the good quality of stuff, just like drinking tea. But I'm so thrown off of the way I eat now. I'm just throwing anything in my mouth. I got frustrated with doing so much research on foods and this and that. But anyway, so I ordered my coffee, and I was like, I'm not gonna get a mixed drink today. All the sugar I could be drinking and stuff like that. I got to get back to the way I need to be, the way I was. And because I'm starting to really feel it now, the slouchiness, the tired quicker, blah 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 blah. And so she was like, all right, I'll give you cream and sugar on the side. And then I sipped it, and I was like, the black coffee, I need to go black and don't go back, or something like that. You know how they say, once you go black, you don't go back. And I had that thought in my head when I was taking a sip, and I was like, I got to add me this cream and this sugar because I'm not ready. But so that's the way I'm gonna talk about those words today: race, racial, races, prejudice, and color. You know. But seriously though, I had another thought about that. What was I gonna say? So with me, you know, because I have worked in the workplace environment for so many years, is number one. Number two is the type of family that I was raised in, and the type of children my mother had. Number three is just my personality. That color for me is definitely, and how I break it down, is personalities, how they act and how they treat me, how I act and treat them. You know, for me, it's never based on color. I did think of this recently when thinking about color. Oh, and when I thought about this and I left it out of the video, and it didn't fit in there. When I was talking about the person that offered me an individually wrapped piece of food that was in his pocket, all smushed up close to his, you know, I just made a stupid deal out of it, saying it's close to your gonads, but you know. So there's certain people I act silly with, and there's no harm, because they act silly with me and give it right back to me the way I give it to them. And so one time, that same person, and they probably won't even remember this, but I remember that when I talk to certain people about certain things, and it's like visiting certain countries is like, for me, visiting and sitting down and talking to certain people. Some people, you know, just like going to a different country, you want to go back and continue to visit. Some you visit one time and you don't ever want to go back to that country or that person again. So, but this person, we always, when we meet up and get together in the workplace environment, and wherever we are, ding, 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 what comes to us is food. And so one day we were talking about, I was telling him about the neem tea, and I took a picture, or I looked it up, because one of my daughters had bought me the neem tea from someone she follows, and the leaves, the natural neem tea, and I was telling him about it. And so then when I showed him how to order it, he was like, is there somebody else I could order from? Like, I should be able to get this from somebody else, because the person was black. And I was like, you got a lot of goddamn nerve. But see, I could talk to him like that because we're on that level, you know. And so that's why I always give him shit whenever, you know, I talk to him about any topic. I don't let him off the hook for nothing. Anyway, so that's my black, white, racist, racial, prejudice, color story for today. Peace. Okay, let me not leave it hanging like that. I need to explain that in detail. Is that when we think something ain't right, it's not always that way. Like, yeah, it may hurt a little bit because somebody don't like the same things, say for example, as I do, or I don't like the same things as they do. Like in this situation, regardless of how people feel, and I have learned, I can't make them feel the way I feel. And just like he said, can I order this from somebody else? And I'm not going to order from a black person or whatever. And so instead of me getting an attitude, I respect how people feel. At least he was honest about it. And he's able to, we're able to talk about many different things as far, especially as far as food and things of that nature, and make each other laugh. But I have no grudges. I have no nasty feelings inside of me. And even though I have seen other things, but that I call out when I can, right? When I'm safe, when I'm feeling like it's okay to add a little humor to this and call it out. But I'm so glad to have come to the radicalization of radical acceptance. I can't change the way they feel, the way they grew up, the way whatever's embedded in their minds. Whether y'all call it subconscious, unconscious, conscious mind, or whatever's inside of the brain. I can't, chop it open and get a brush and start scrubbing, because I have my views and things of that nature, and nobody can't change me. So that's what I wanted to elaborate on. People are raised a certain way. People hang around certain people that are a certain way. And people are going to hold on to their beliefs depending on what type of personality they have. Whether it's a loyal type personality, whether it's that envious, vindictive personality, that's fine. As long as you don't hurt me or hurt those that, come across my path or that I love and I can try to protect when I can, or when if there's something that I can do, where it comes to writing a letter or doing my part, don't be surprised if I snap back at you, because that's not something I agree with. I'm not going to bend over and take it and be silent and, like you say, don't use profanity, be humble, all these types of words that no one is supposed to bite back at you because you feel, this way or do certain things to people. You have the right to feel the way you feel. When it comes to those words, race, racial, racist, prejudice, color, everybody has a right to feel the way they want to feel. It's the thing of hurting and inducing and putting harm on other people because of your belief of those, someone don't look like you, walk like you, talk like you, act like you, think like you. So that's just my spiel for today. Peace.